Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for UFO Mind's Eye. So, what we're going to do in this is we're going to talk a little bit about some of the other cases that have happened, well, recently actually. Um, there's been a high volume of UFOs around the country that have been spotted in, well, well-known cities pretty much. I mean, we're talking like Denver, Colorado, New York City, Cleveland, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, um, and also Mexico City, and some other places. Now, basically what they've figured out is when we have what quote unquote eclipses and things like that, which we're actually having one this month, um, what people are realizing is that that's not necessarily an eclipse, because think about it. They spotted huge UFOs that are so large to the point to where they actually cover up the moon and the sun. Um, it's been documented since the 1800s, also the 1900s, where there's been incidents where people have actually reported giant UFOs, and people go up missing. People miss time. I wanted to kind of talk about missed time actually in this episode. Essentially, missed time is time that you can't validate or remember what happened to you, or hours went by. Sometimes it's longer than that, and people are looking for people, and then they find them like in the middle of the woods, like the Travis Walton story. Now, Travis Walton, there was even a movie, Fire in the Sky, which is a wonderful movie if you guys never have seen it. Now, from his point of view and from his story, it was not necessarily exactly what happened to him. The media and the film industry just kind of took that and made a little bit more, out of the movie, of things that have happened. And let's be realistic. Travis Walton has done numerous interviews. The guy knows his stuff. You can look it up on YouTube. There's speeches that he's done for several conventions and things like that, and they're very interesting if you want to listen to them and watch them. He's been on UFO talk shows. He's been on every single episode practically of several like ancient alien episodes, and then obviously I think some other UFO TV is another one that he's been involved in. So let's talk about the possibility that there are UFOs that are so large that they could actually not only black out the moon and the sun, but they could also pretty much create havoc, basically. Because this has been documented like in Mexico City, like in the early 90s. I think it was 1992, when there was a solar eclipse. And some people, again, say, oh, it was the solar eclipse. I don't really agree with that. I feel like that was just a huge freaking UFO trying to basically find out what we're up to and get some more information and resources. And then let's think about how we've had incidents where in areas like the Bermuda Triangle where people have just magically gone missing, and then let's say several years later we find like planes or basically remains of ships and things like that. My theory is that that's some type of a dimensional portal, and that UFOs are basically coming through it, and they take those people basically and kind of do experiments, and basically once they're done with them, they pretty much just do what they want with them. I also believe that we still have working underground bases where some people are actually being held, where they're doing experiments, where they're mixing alien DNA with human DNA to create hybrids. Um, and I believe that because you have to understand that there are so many galaxies that have not been, basically explored. Um, Scientists are trying to explain this now. I don't think that they're ever really going to get that far in our generation. Um, I do feel like at some point in time we're going to realize that there's life all over the galaxies, and I think that eventually we're going to have some type of communication with one of these races. Um, I mean, you have the Greys, you have the Reptilians. I mean, you have the Anunnaki, what the Anunnaki believes. I mean, all the tribes that had gods that really didn't look like men and women. I think it's better to have an open mind. And I think that that's the most important thing. So, and I'll be back later on with another episode. Thanks, guys.